everybody. Today I'm going to review RIDGID's brand new Gen5X Brushless Stealth Force impact driver. And unlike a typical impact driver, this is actually known as an oil impulse driver. It's running off hydraulic pressure inside, and it's going to be very quiet and very fast. Now, if you've used a typical impact driver, you know how annoying they can be to everybody around you because they are a lot louder than a drill. But when you use this, it's going to be much quieter, and really nobody's going to be disturbed. So what I want to do in this video is give you some close-up looks at this. We're going to go over all the different features, and then we're going to see how it actually performs. The kit will include a carrying bag, a charger, two 2 amp hour compact battery packs, as well as the Stealth Force impact driver. Here's a closer look at the impact driver, and I do want to point out that all the orange portion as well as this black portion around the nose cone is going to be made out of a very hard plastic, and then all the gray portion that you see around the top, on the back, the side bumpers as well as extending around the grip is going to be made out of a softer rubber overmold. Now if you notice, I have the belt clip installed on the left hand side, which is good for right-handed use. But if you're left-handed, you can remove that screw, move it to the opposite side, and it would be easily set up for left-handed use. The battery's on a slide rail system, and to remove it you'll press the large orange button on both sides of the battery at the same time. It will release and it will slide right off. You can take another fully charged battery, line it up, and when you hear the click, it's going to be locked in and ready to go. Now in addition to that, the front of the battery also has a fuel gauge, so if we press it on the button, you'll see LEDs light up, and in this case the battery's fully charged. It has 3 different speed or power modes depending on what you're working on. Speed or power mode 1 is going to be a low speed or low power mode, coming in at 0 to 1000 RPMs. Speed or power mode 2 will be 0 to 1800 RPMs, and speed or power mode 3 will be 0 to 2400 RPMs, along with 1700 impacts per minute. Now you'll directly control how fast the chuck turns by how hard you press it on the variable speed trigger. So if you only want it to barely turn, you'll just barely press in on it. And then if you want it to have full speed, you'll press on it all the way. Just above the variable speed trigger, you can notice a selector switch. If you press that to the left, it's going to be in reverse. If you press that to the right, it will be in forward. And then the center portion is actually going to be a trigger lock that will prevent you from pulling in on the trigger. Now along with that variable speed trigger, they have a separate switch at the base of the grip that will activate the 3 LED lights that surround the chuck. They have a time delay, and if you press on either one of these, they're going to light up and they will stay on for 10 seconds. This will allow you to illuminate what you're working on, and it really doubles as a flashlight in a low light situation. On the rear of the unit, at the base of the grip, just above the battery pack, you can notice bit storage. This will allow you to take any standard 1/4" hex bit, click it into place, and it's going to be stored out of the way until you need to use it. And finally, the 1/4" hex chuck is a quick release as well as a quick load chuck. There's no need to use 2 hands to pull the collar out. Just take your bit, line it up, and then press it towards the center of the unit. It will click into place and it's going to be locked in. When you want to remove it, it's also as simple as grabbing onto that collar and then pushing it out, and the bit's going to pop right out. To show you the type of performance you'll get with very long fasteners, I have some 10-inch timber lock wood screws. We're going to put those through stacked 4x4 pressure treated posts. And as you can see, they will extend almost all the way through. I have 2 of these, and the first one we're going to use the Stealth Force on speed or power mode 3, and then we're going to use the standard Gen5X brushed model. Now using the same bit, I'll go ahead and pop it in the brushed model, also on speed or power mode 3, and we'll use an identical screw below it. And you can see not only is it much faster, it's also much quieter. Where you'll notice a bigger difference is with standard screws like these coated deck screws going into pressure treated lumber. Now what you want to keep in mind with a standard impact driver, you're going to hear the impacts the whole way in, and it can be very loud, and if you are indoors it can be very annoying to people nearby. Now those have no problem sinking the screws, but when we take a look at that same screw along with the Stealth Force, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. One thing to keep in mind is going to be vibrations, and if you use larger fasteners like this 3-inch SPAC screw, what can happen is with a standard impact driver, it's going to make many impacts and it's going to be relatively smooth on the way in. But if we switch over and use the Stealth Force using that same exact screw, on speed setting 3, just like the brushed model, notice how much vibrations you're going to feel back into your hand and back into your wrist. So even though it is a lot quieter, you do want to keep in mind with the larger fasteners, you will feel more of the feedback coming back into the tool versus a standard impact driver. But with thinner fasteners, like those large wood screws or even the coated deck screws, this is going to be a lot better option. Now for a runtime test, we're going to see how many 3-inch coated deck screws we can put into stacked pressure treated 2x10s on one fully charged 2 amp hour battery pack. $270 3-inch coated deck screws through stacked pressure treated 2x10s on one 2 amp hour battery charge. So now you've seen RIDGID's brand new Gen5X brushless Stealth Force impact driver for yourself. Now as far as a standard impact driver goes versus this one, the Stealth Force is going to be a lot quieter, it's going to be a lot faster, and as you can see from the runtime test, even with the compact 2 amp hour battery packs which are included in the kit, we still got very impressive run times. Through stacked pressure treated 2x10s, we were able to get 270 3-inch coated deck screws on just one charge. Now keep in mind, because this is a RIDGID power tool, as long as you register it within 90 days of buying it, you'll qualify for the RIDGID lifetime service agreement. And what that means is you'll get free batteries, free parts, and free service for life. If you like this video, please click like. If you like my channel, please click subscribe. And thanks for watching.